just started to stream without my mic turned on. It's like, oh, that's real beneficial to everybody just listening to music and seeing this crazy person wave their hands around on screen and assuming that people know what you're talking about. So I don't profess to know how shotguns are made, but I think this is going to be a wood stock underneath here. Not that it is now. Fairly certain though that that would be metal. So that was just, what is it? Panzer Ace's 312 leather belt. Kind of like a nice medium. I mean, there's any number of kind of like medium chocolate browns, and I'm just going to take some of that light brown that we used, mix that in, just a little dab of, what do you call it? That beige. Just do a real quick sort of highlight here. The model around on its actual base, that's not good. I think silly putty might be a better option. It'll actually keep the model one place and not moving around constantly. Yeah, me too. Bellarine, I'm so glad the community is kind of starting to boom here. I got in on this like I think it was like the day after Micho started the whole the streaming group and all that other kind of stuff. I mean, these guys have been doing it for, I guess, upwards of years now. So you know, like they're the forerunners of doing this. But seeing all the new people come into the hobby, in the actual streaming side of things is really, really cool. I think it's a great opportunity to just kind of grow the hobby and be able to teach and interact with people at the same time. I think it's completely game changing. Because I mean, otherwise you'd have to have like a club, or you'd have to have a gaming store that you go into, and if people don't paint there, you know, it's kind of like, well, where do I go to learn tips, and you know, how do I figure out how the guys that painted stuff that are on display on stores, like, how did you do that? And you know, there's no one there to talk to for any of that. It's like, you know, you're completely out of luck, so you have to rely on YouTube videos or, you know, people's blogs and stuff like that, and that's very rarely that you get, you know, sort of like a one-on-one real-time interaction with someone as they're painting and doing techniques. So I think it's totally cool. Just adding some more texture to the scabbard there. Didn't even know that painting miniatures on Twitch was allowed until like 3 months ago. Yeah, I guess Twitch is starting to branch out into, I mean, they may have always been open to it, but they're starting to branch out into the creative side of things, which is, I think, is totally cool. I'm going to pull out some bolt gun metal, because I think we're almost to the point where this guy is pretty much almost complete. I just got some last couple things to do. So, just going to do some bolt gun metal here. This will look very bright right now. But what'll happen is I'll do a wash over this, and it'll completely tone the color down. And what I'll probably also do is, since these guys are tribals and they don't have maybe like the best equipment, based on the rules that I'm playing with, I might actually do some rust effects on the gun here, just to kind of knock it back and make it look like it's an old, you know, not poorly kept, but on its way out kind of shotgun. So what else is metallic here? He's got, I might do that like a bronze across his chest. He's got a gas mask here, which I'm just putting a base coat down. I'll do a black wash on this and then retouch the highlights. Got a hose. I guess a metal hose doesn't quite make sense, but you know, whatever. Maybe it's like a chrome plated something or other. Not chrome, but like a weird super. Hey Slick Ricky, how's it going? Still kind of like the focus. I'm looking over on, I guess the focus is here. I need to bring it up just ever so slightly, I think. That maybe? Is that better? I think that's better. Part of me is also curious if the actual camera is getting further away from miniature as I paint. Like if maybe it's getting closer to the table, I'm not sure. It's kind of one of the things I'm curious about how these IKEA lamps are going to turn out. But I'm definitely going to look into getting a like a boom stand or something like that, a mic boom, to fix this, or maybe I'll jury rig something. So we'll do his banner pole here. And I've got to finish his gas canister. And what else do we have to do? There's some teeth on his ankle that we need to touch up. Right there that I need to get. Got to do the skull. Let's get the grip on his knife there. Top. Boomsticks and butts. Yep. There's actually I actually think there's a couple models that a guy did via Kickstarter that are actual models from Beyond Thunderdome. That's what you've been painting, Slick Ricky. But yeah, the models that he did were like straight out of Thunderdome. So he had the out of Thunderdome and Road Warrior. So you know he's got like the dude in the chaps and the thong, with the mohawk and the football pads on and everything. It's like, this is just perfect. Like, I'm so glad that someone somewhere made those. I need to pick those miniatures up at some point. I can't remember who made them though. I think it was just like a small boutique studio that did them. I was like, oh, I didn't have the funds at the time to go in on the Kickstarter. And actually, I might have just completely forgot that he was doing it. Could very well have also been a thing. I think on the inside, you can just barely see he's got a little bit of the banner showing. Banner pole right there. That's all that needs. Chili Dog. Used to paint Warhammer when I was younger, didn't play with them, just painted them, so this was a nice throwback. Yeah, I did pretty much the exact same thing. I played very little when I was doing the 40k scene, but I had basically painted a bunch of Imperial Guard stuff and a bunch of Dark Eldar, and just never really got around to playing all that much, but the painting side of things was pretty much my go-to kind of either stress relief or just kill time with a hobby sort of deal. And it really kind of cut my teeth to get into, you know, actual historical painting and stuff like that. So that was basically what I did for almost 3 years, I think, coming out of high school, was mostly 40k painting. And then I think it was like 2010, I want to say, I transferred over to doing pretty much like full-time, just like World War II stuff. Yeah, so this is the case right here, like this. That was all that was holding on to the bottom of this guy's base for his sticky tack, which is just crap. So I'm just going to kind of tweak it and readjust him here on the cork. Maybe that'll fix, because you're just wobbling like crazy. Just throwing some sepia wash around on some of these brighter bits of beige. And what I'll do is I'll highlight the teeth with like a kind of like an ivory. I actually do have some ivory kicking around. I bought a bottle of it. I don't know where that is though. It might be right there. First Tau Fire Warrior yesterday. I felt pretty exhilarating. Few more touches left. Nice. Do you have any pictures of it? Got like an Imager link or a photo bucket account or anything like that? I always like seeing people's work. It's pretty cool. Take a little bit of the sepia that was left over and just kind of go over this one more time. Kind of touch that there. So what do we need now? We need to wash the metal. So we're going to use Soft Body Black by Secret Weapon Washes. Reaper Bones, IMF Troopers and Pirates. Very cool. Yeah, I've got a bunch of those Reaper Bones kicking around. And I've got to get them painted at some point. I've also got I've got a basically huge D&D collection. There's just no one up here that I game with that does D&D. So I'm kind of holding out hope that I've got some friends that live down in Arizona. I'm hoping they move back out here at some point. I also don't have the storage space to keep all that stuff here. It's all like down in my parents' basement. I just have like a small, like, you know, 200 square foot bedroom and a closet. That's it. There's just not enough room to store all the terrain and stuff that I have for D&D. So this soft body black really just kind of tones all of the metallics down. And then if you want, typically I leave like gunmetal this color. And then anything else on top of this that I want to highlight, I'll get some chainmail out. Or not chainmail, is it mithril? No, chainmail. This is like the old GW paints. Spectre Dave, I don't know. Depends what you qualify as good. I mean, I try to paint, but, you know, I don't profess to be a professional at doing this. I just enjoy painting. I think I do a decent job at it. You know, I don't want to be a braggart or anything like that, but I'd say I'm a little above average in terms of painting quality. But at the same time, you know, I'm not like, what's his name, Heraldez, that does all the Infinity stuff. The dude just, like, paints like a madman. It's like, how do you do that? American mini painter, really? There are, there's a few of us out here. Out in the wild. Oh, have you noticed there's kind of more of an international scene for the painters, or are you coming here from the figurines tag? Maybe that's what Grendler was saying, is that, you know, we weren't visible on miniatures and it was figurines instead. I'm just doing some agrax on that. What else do we need to do? You know what, I think I'm going to take this beige and add a little bit to that green ochre. Just do kind of like a very final highlight on the leather straps on his chest here, just because I think they're missing just a little bit of pop. Yeah, I think that's what that needed, just a little bit of an edge highlight just to kind of make this whole thing pop. I wonder if that was the end of the soundtrack there. I'll have to throw something else on. Nope, it wasn't. Oh, found you through a host. Yeah, oh gosh. I've completely Kenny and Jason. Yeah, Kenny is Next Level Painting, and then Jason is Slow Fuse Gaming. They're both Americans. They're Kenny's out on the West Coast, I think, out in California, and then Jason is down in Arizona, I believe. And I'm here in Colorado. So, I don't know if there's anyone American that's off of the East Coast. There might be a couple people. I don't know if I'd be able to give you names like right off the top of my head. Okay, yeah, Slow Fuse, Micho. I think Micho's East Coast, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's out on East Coast time. I'm not sure exactly where on the East Coast he is, but I'm fairly certain he streams out of an East Coast time slot. There's a strap going around the canister here, so I'll just hit that real quick with the that ochre color that we've got. And this is just enough, I think, to give it a little bit of differentiation. Let's see, we need to do a wash on... I'm going to take a little bit of this agrax and mix it with that soft body black. And just a little bit of, I guess I say a little bit of water, but I don't know, maybe not. I'm just going to kind of run this over the hair here, just to kind of darken it a little bit. And we'll do some edge highlights on the hair there to bring that back up. Alright, what else do we need to do here? We need to, I think, hit this ever so slightly with a little bit of black. Oh, Loveland, awesome. Yeah, I'm just outside Boulder, so not too far away. Just gonna take some of that soft body black and run it kind of in the darker areas of the hair here. And then I think I also need to hit, yeah, just on the inside there. Oh, I also need to actually paint his hair. I forgot that he has hair. So I'm going to take some of that black gray that I had out earlier, just kind of base coat his hair, that color. Then we'll do that soft body black over this, and I think that should be enough just to give it a little bit of color contrast. Actually, you know what? I'm going to mix a little bit of the that leather belt brown in there, just so it's got a little more of a brown tone to it, so he's not like a gray kind of hair. Chili Dog, thanks for the follow. Alright, so that'll be good for his hair. We need to do a bronze, I think. Do I have my bronze out? No, I think I put it back. Did I? Yeah, I put it back.